ourselves in the light of COVID-19. So keep safe, everyone. Let our Lord be our guide. Let our Lord be our light and our Savior. So good afternoon. God bless and have a productive engagement and come up with a well-resonated response whenever you wish to clarify issues and concerns relative to basic education information system, and then please feel free to contact our resource person. So with that, good afternoon and God bless.
Thank you so much, Sir Chris. Okay. Surely our private schools partners, headed by our school heads, of course, and the school representatives here po are very happy to have with you, sir, this afternoon. Ayan, nakasmile po naka-on ang mic ni Sir Marlon. Sir Marlon, hello and everyone. Okay, Sir Brian also there. Okay, hello po. And some of the school heads po. Siguro naka-off cam lang sila pero thank you for being with us. Okay po. So we shall be starting now with the orientation proper. Please allow me po to present.
Ako na lang ang tatawag, ma'am, kung sakaling one. Nakain na po kayo sa LIS orientation.
Okay, so this will be the parts of the orientation po. So we just did the preliminaries and then the message from our Assistant Schools Division Superintendents. We'll provide you with the timelines po so that will be guided accordingly in terms of our outputs. And then the BEIS orientation proper will provide you with the general BEIS guidelines. And then proceed tayo agad sa private school profile. We will provide you with an overview of how will you be able to accomplish the template, and then actual tayong magge-generate ng BEIS template natin on using the account of St. Joseph de Mary, Sir Marlon. And then we provide you some of the frequently asked questions later, and then open forum tayo. Okay? So with that, for the timelines, ito po, we will start immediately tomorrow po, so 25 March 2021 until April 23, 2021 for the preparation of school profiles, meaning we are given almost a month to do our data gathering, including the preparation of the school profiles. On 26 to 30 April, we will upload already the school profile in the system, and please submit also the hard copy to us through the record section. So kayo rin po yan in terms of the submission. Sa May 3 naman po until May 28, we will do the validation of school profiles, both sa hard copy and then in the system. So kami po yan, including some of the concerned functional divisions or sections in the office po. Malalaman po natin kung sino-sinong mga offices yan later when we do the navigation on the template. And then on May 31, please drop po yung e-copy ng validated school profile. So meaning, if there are changes in the data based on the validation that we will conduct, then you please input the updated one. And then after you have included the necessary adjustments or revisions, then you please drop po yung e-copy ng validated na school profile ninyo, while you will also upload again, no? You will also upload again in the system. That would be the final already. Okay? And then from June to July 2021, we will do the consolidation of school profiles dito sa ating opisina. And then, here are the dropping folders. Dahil nga sa pandemic, no, kailangan nating magtulungan so that we'll be able still to generate a report or data as needed based on data gathering that we will conduct. So these are the things, the folder, the link that you will take note. Ito po, PSPC, yung may G na yan, yung GESP, yung GJHSP, at saka GSHSP, ito ay pang-public po ito. At sa inyo po sa private ay yung PSP or Private School profile. So, paki-take note nyo po yung link, paki-print screen po itong pinoproject natin para sa ganon ay makikita nyo po agad pag nag-submit po kayo. Okay? Na-print screen nyo na po. Alright, thank you so much. Ito naman po, yung lahat ng references and presentations, makikita nyo po dyan. So, both public and private, magkasama na po dyan. Piliin nyo lamang po yung pang-private. Pero kung interested po kayong makita kung gaano kadami ang data from public schools, pwede rin naman, walang problema. So, take note of the link, tinyurl.com/BEISref. Alright, so, any questions so far? Open lang po ang microphone or unmute lang po kung meron po kayong gustong tanungin, even during the orientation proper, so that as we present the data or the template, doon na po kayo magtanong. Baka makalimutan niyo po kasi pag tapusin pa, okay? Sige. So we proceed now to the orientation proper. We start with the general guidelines and then followed by the PSP orientation. The general guidelines will be presented by Ma'am Olivia Gomez, our planning officer, followed by the navigation of the PSP by Ma'am Vima Kadungong. Both po, kami po dito sa planning and research section. At sa ibang opisina naman po, ang kasamahan po natin as technical support, ang ICT section headed by Sir Harris Dizon. Alright, thank you so much. Take it away, Ma'am Olive.
Hello po. Ay, yes, good afternoon. Ay, sorry, actually, naka-meet na po siya. Ay, tingnan. Yung directing po. Ano, sir? Ay, sir, ang gawin ng orientation ng sir. Hindi na kasama po kayo. Oo, sir, okay lang. At kung saan mo?
Good morning.
Meron previous na enrolled sila sa ibang school. Transfer ko ba sila sa ibang school? So, awanti, ano po ba? Exactly, kaya kailangan i-trace po. Kasi ibang program na saan siya mag-enroll tayo. So, ilan ang enroll sa ibang school. Para alam natin yung may ay, di po ang
Hello, good afternoon po. Naririnig po ba ako?
Yes,
Okay po ba? Naririnig po?
Yes, ma'am.
May nakasan yung net po dito. Hello po. Good afternoon po mga school heads and mga kasama po natin sa private school. Hindi pwedeng gumamit ng ibang account, I mean, ibang template na kinuha lang natin sa other sources po, dapat i-download po natin sa BEIS na respective account po natin para ma-upload po natin yung files po natin. And then next, users can upload their accomplished school profile template as many times as needed. However, only data from the latest uploaded version will be saved in the database. So, kung nangyari po may mga correction, kahit how many times yung upload, pwede po. Kung may mga makita po tayong errors later on po sa pag-fill up ng mga templates po natin. And then next po, user can change the file name of the template. So, once na download po natin, pwede na nating palitan yung file name based sa natin, school name siguro, or depende po sa atin. And then next, templates available for downloading will be based on the school COC. So later on, kita po natin yung step-by-step na paraan para ma-download po natin yung ating COC. Pero siguro for the sake sa mga bago, hindi pa nila masyadong alam. Pero yung mga dati pong gumagawa nito, I'm sure, kasi konti lang naman yung changes niya. Almost the same po as the previous years po. And then next, you are only required to fill in white cells. So, white cells lang pong i-fill up natin. Pag colored po, hindi po natin siya pwedeng i-fill up or i-edit po. And then next, the system will still allow uploading of the templates with incomplete data. Any blank data cells with numeric value will be converted to 0 in the database. So, importante pong ma-fill up natin yung mga data po natin. Either lagay po natin ng 0 or not applicable, or kung blank po siya, mako-convert siya sa 0. And then next, fill out all data cells manually. Do not use copy and paste, cut and paste, and most especially drag and drop. So, manual po natin i-fill up yung mga data. And then next, for cells requiring numeric values, input whole numbers for data cells requiring whole numbers, and input decimal numbers for data cells requiring decimal numbers. So, specific po yan. Pag mga numbers siguro ng personnel, ganyan, kailangan whole numbers. Tapos may mga ibang data na kailangan ng decimal numbers, yun po ang ilagay natin. Next, for check boxes option, any checkbox option where yes and no options were both selected, this will be considered as a yes. Kumbaga, example, does the school have a designated school clinic? Yes and no ang chinek po natin. Ang mangyayari, ang i-consider po niya ay yes na answers. Kaya be careful po. Siguro sa mga ganitong questions, isa lang po ang i-check natin. And then next one, for checkbox options with related data fields, if yes is selected, related fields must be filled in with value greater than 0. Example to this is, example, learning action cells or session, yung tinatawag namin LAC session. Do you conduct LAC session in your own school? Yes and no yung nakalagay. Tapos if yes, indicate the number of LAC session conducted. Of course, kung ang answer nyo yes, magpo-proceed po kayo sa ibang questions, tapos ilagay nyo po yung number. Dapat isa lang po yung i-check po natin. And then next example, box 2, learning action cells ulit, sessions. For example, isa yung may question siya na answerable by no. Of course, hindi nyo na pag no yung answer, hindi nyo na i-fill up yung succeeding question. Ganun po. So, kailangan consistent po tayo sa pagsagot nito kung yes or no yung mga answers po natin. And then next, if both yes and no options are not selected, this will be treated automatically as no. Yan. Yan po yung lalabas. Kung wala po tayong answer, no po ang lalabas na mag-automatic po siya. Dates can be inputted as text. Example, yung date po. Ganyan po yung paraan ng paglagay ng number, ng date. Example, dates. Example, October 5, 2018. Or etc. yung paraan po natin ng paglagay ng dates. And then next, observe validation on data cells. Sample of validation. Yung sa school info, school ID inputted in the template will be checked based on the school ID associated in the user account. So, may mga tables po tayong may mga remarks po. Number of classes should be less than the total of enrollment. So, dapat nagtatali po yung mga data po natin na nilalagay natin. So, ito yung mga, pag in-open po natin yung account natin, lalabas po yung mga profile na corresponding sa COC natin. Pag sa public school, government elementary school profile, yan pa ang lalabas. GSP. Pag sa private school, PSP ang lalabas. Later on, makikita nyo po. So, ito po yung steps of how to use this facility. Yung mga datihan po, alam na nila paano gawin ito. Pero for the sake sa mga bago po, of course, mag-login po tayo sa account natin, BEIS or LIS. Ma-open po na natin yung using the school head account. And then, mamaya pala, mag-hands-on tayo. Mag-hands-on si Ma'am Maling, papakita niya yung step by step, yung actual po, using the account ng school. And then, so once na nakalagin na po tayo, ang i-click po natin dito sa pang-apat, Basic Education Information System. And then, next step po, i-click natin yung upload na button. Yan, i-click po natin yung button na upload. And then, once na click po natin, next na gagawin po natin, i-download po natin school profile templates by clicking the respective link. Pag sa private school po, i-click po natin yung, lalabas po yung sa, dito kasi public school lang, pero yung sa inyo po, meron po yung sa private school. I-click po lang natin yung blue na download current version, tapos lalabas na siya yung mga templates. And then after may accomplish, ma-download po natin lahat ng templates and then na-fill upan po natin. After filling up po lahat ng templates, i-upload po natin. And then don't forget po pala, i-save yung na-download natin template with the corresponding data na na-fill up natin. And then i-upload po natin. Balik po tayo sa account natin. School account, using the school head account, and then click po natin yung school profile. Then click natin yung upload na button. Yan. Pag may na-click po na natin yung upload na button, lalabas na po ito. May file name na po siya na na-upload. Choose file to upload, and then upload now. And then if there are errors in the uploaded template, an error found, please check the errors from the table below. So pag may mga error po, makita po natin yung mga notifications na lalabas kung may mga errors po tayo. Naka-red po siya, errors found. Please check the errors from the table below. I-guide naman tayo kung ano yung mga errors na kailangan natin i-check para pwede nating check natin, i-correct natin, and then i-upload po ulit natin. And then yun po. A template or a table or template errors will be displayed to list the errors found in the uploaded template. Kaya nga nang sinabi ko, gagayad po tayo sa mga errors na kita po ng system. Uploaded template has no errors. A school profile successfully uploaded notification message will be displayed. So, lalabas na po yan na wala po tayong error, kaya may i-upload na po siya. Yan po, lalabas, a school profile successfully uploaded. And then number 8, to view or download the uploaded templates, click the dashboard tab, then click the templates under the school profile column. So, makikita po natin yan. And then sa level po namin, ba-validate po namin, first of all, manually, and then sa system po, kung once uploaded po. Pero in case na na-approve na ng dito sa planning office, yung mga in-upload yung data. Pero kung kunyari may correction, pwede po naman i-request for reversion in case na validate na namin po. Itawag nyo lang po sa amin para for reversion. So, yun lang po. Mamaya, gaya ng sinabi ko, ipapakita ni Ma'am Malin yung actual po na hands-on. So, yun lang po. Thank you.
Hello po. Bago tayo mag-proceed for the orientation or navigation ng ating template sa private school profile, do you have any question po? Do you have any question how to download, where to go? Wala pa? O sige, baka maya-maya. O sige, let's proceed now to the orientation ng PSP natin. Ma'am Vima, go ahead.
Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon also.
Naririnig po ba?
Yes
Yes
po,
po.
narinig. Yes po,
Good
narinig.
afternoon po. Now we are going to the private school profile data gathering form. And we will look at the overview. In SY 2019 to 2020, the PSP or the private school profile data gathering form has 38 boxes, 38 tables and 9 boxes. But for this school year 2020-2021, the private school profile tables were reduced into 21 tables and 12 boxes. Let us look into the private school profile for the school year 2019-2020, wherein there are 38 tables. These are the 38 tables from table 1, starting from elementary learners data up to. But before that, we are going to see what tables were out from school year 2019-2020. Out of these 18 tables, table 1 to table 9, table 11, and table up to table 14, table 16 up to table 18 were out. What was retained is table 10 and table 15, which are the learners with disability LSENS under the homebound and hospital-bound program for SY 2019-2020, and junior high school learners with disability LSENS under the homebound and hospital-bound program for SY 2019 to 2020. And for table 19 to table 32, which are the senior high school repeaters age profile up to the number of existing classroom furniture For SY 2019-2020, kinder to grade 12, the tables that were out are from table 19 to table 24B. And what are retained are table 25 to table 32, which are data on assistance to students and teachers in private education and DepEd public schools program. Table 26, which is the personnel data. Table 27, which is the teachers who received training on ICT from June 2015 to June 2019. Table 28, teaching personnel who received trainings on pedagogy from June 2015 to June 2019. Box 2, availability of electrical supply. Table 29, number of functional computers in the school. Table 30, number of existing instructional rooms in the school from kinder to grade 12. Table 31, number of existing non-instructional rooms in the school from kinder to grade 12. And table 32, number of existing classrooms furniture for school year 2019 to 2020 for kinder to grade 12. From these 38 tables, it was reduced into 21 tables for SY 2020. And for table 33 until table 38, all of these were retained for school year 2020-2021. And now we are going to look into the private school profile for school year 2020-2021, which are the following. Tables 1 to 12. Previously, table 1 was what was retained under table 10, and table 2 is what was retained under table 15 from SY 2019, SY 2020. These are the new private school profiles for school year 2020 to 2021, which are for table 1, elementary learners with disabilities under the homebound and hospital-bound program. Table 2, junior high school learners with disabilities under the homebound and hospital-bound program for school year 2020 to 2021, which must be as of October 31, 2020. Table 3, senior high school learners by arts and design, track and strand. Table 4, number of functional assistive technology and adaptive devices for learners with disabilities. Table 5, data on assistance to students and teachers in private education and non-DepEd public schools program. Table 6, personnel data. Table 7, teachers who receive training on information and communications technology. Table 8, teachers who receive training on pedagogy. Table 9, number of functional computers in the school for academic use for SY 2020 to 2021. Table 10, internet connectivity. Table 11, number of existing instructional rooms in the school by level of education. Table 12, number of existing non-instructional rooms in the school by level of education. From this table 1 to table 12, what is new is table 4, which is number of functional assistive technology and adaptive devices for learners with disabilities for SY 2020 to 2021 as of October 31, 2020. Next. These are the tables 13 to table 20, which are number of existing classroom furniture by level of education. Table 14, availability of electrical supply. Table 15, availability of water supply. Table 16, of existing wash facilities. Table 17, number of sanitation facilities. Box 1 for table 17, mental health. Previews for SY 2019-2020. Box 2, tobacco control. Box 3, child protection. Box 4, child protection, violence against children, which is previously SY 2019-2020. Box 5, child protection, which includes bullying. Table 18, disasters, calamities. For the months of June 2019 to May 2020. Table 19, disasters, calamities, human-induced hazards, armed conflicts, and grave child rights violations for the months of June 2019 to May 2020. Table 20, Result of disaster incidents for the months of June 2019 to May 2020. And for Table 13 to Table 20, the new items which were included here are Box 1 to Box 5 under Table 17. And for Box 6, Box 7, Box 8, Box 9, which are enabling an environment for the months of June 2019 to May 2020, safe learning facilities, school disaster management, disaster risk reduction in education, and for Table 21, disaster risk reduction education, DRRM, CCNP's building trainings for the months of June 2019 to May 2020, which includes Box 10, disaster risk reduction in education, information, education, and communication, or IEC materials, for the months of June 2019 to May 2020. Box 11, armed conflict related initiatives for the months of June 2019 to May 2020. And for Box 12, indigenous peoples education or IPED programs for SY 2020-2021 as of October 31, 2020. What's new under these enumerations is Box 12 under Table 21, which is the Indigenous People Education or IPED program for SY 2020 to 2021 as of October 31, 2020. Let us look into the private school profile data gathering forms for SY 2020 to 2021. And before that, let us please remember that the type of data elements in BEIS, which are the following, the data type and the important messages. First, let us look into the learners. The data type must be whole number, and it must please enter valid numbers between 0 to 20,000. For teacher personnel, it must be whole number, and please enter valid numbers between 0 to 999. Other numeric values, like assistive device, it must be whole number, and please enter valid number between 0 to 999. For lab sessions or action research, it must be whole number, and please enter valid number between 0 to 2,000. Years as advisors, guidance counselor, it must be whole number, and the numbers that must be entered must be 0 to 40. However, for the average monthly expense or internet connection or electricity or water, decimal data type is allowed, but please enter a valid number between 0 to 1 million. For number of hours in available day, the data type must be whole number, but please enter valid numbers 0 to 24. And for total land area, decimal is allowed, which is 0 to 200,000. For clinic supplies, the data type must be whole number, but please enter valid number between 0 to 2,000. For days, it must be also whole number, but please enter valid numbers between 0 to 31. For disaster, it must be whole number. Please enter valid number 0 to 99. For emergency supplies or equipment, it must be whole number, which must be also 0 to 9,999. And for resumption strategies, for the number of days, must be whole number, which is 0 to 370. For time tested, the data type must be time, and it must be in hours, minutes, and second format. For drop down, it must be list, but please select on the list provided only. For MOOE, decimal is allowed, and the valid number must be 0 to 20 million. The year acquired is whole number, and please enter the valid year. For the school information, this is the instruction. And let us read. This form shall be accomplished by the head of all private schools offering elementary and secondary levels. In the case of school institutions offering more than one level, only one school profile shall be accomplished. Only private schools whose establishment has been approved by the DepEd regional office shall be issued a private school profile. Private schools whose documents have been submitted to the regional or division office but are still undergoing evaluation at the time of the distribution of the private school profile can also be issued in this form. The head of the school shall sign the form certifying to the correctness of the data and shall be responsible and accountable for any inaccuracy or false data information reported. He or she shall submit the accomplished forms to the respective school's division office. Let us not forget that let us read the definition instructions found at the bottom of each table before filing up the form. And no item should be left blank. Instead, 0 or not applicable shall be written or shaded. Boxes shall not be filled. These are the samples of the school information, the school name, the address, the regions, and so on. There's the certification by the school head, validated by our Senior Education Program Specialist, Ma'am Malin, and by our Planning Officer, Ma'am Olive. And this is a sample of Table 1 for school year 2020 to 2021 as of October 31, 2020. The elementary learners with disabilities under the homebound and hospital-bound program. There. And this is Table 2. The junior high school learners with disabilities under the homebound and hospital-bound programs. This is the sample. The homebound and the hospital-bound. And for Table 3, the senior high school learners by Arts and Designs, track and strand. There is the enrollment by track. The grades, grade 11, grade 12, and the totals must be filled. Table 4, it's the number of functional assistive technology and adaptive devices for learners with disability. There are the types of devices and the number of the devices and the total. Table 5, the data and assistance to students and teachers in private education and non-DepEd public schools program as of October 31, 2020. There are the number of grantees, number of slots, education service contracting from grade 7 to grade 12, and the total. For grade 6, this is a sample of personnel data for the school year 2020 to 2021 as of October 31, 2020. There are the number of teachers, the qualified teachers, the trained teachers, and it must be from kinder to grade 6. This is the one for junior high school and senior high school. Table 7, this is the sample for teachers who receive training on information and communications technology, ICT, for SY2020 to 2021 form. This is Table 8, teachers who receive training on pedagogy. And in order for us to understand what is pedagogy, constructive teaching, inquiry-based, reflective teaching, collaborative learning, integrated approach, inclusive education, and others, it is defined below the table. For example, pedagogy, it refers to the strategies, approaches in teaching and learning based on RA 10533, Rule 2, Section 10.2, and so on. Table 9, it refers to the number of functional computers in the school for academic use. And here, computers refers to electronic devices for storing and processing data, such as desktop, notebook, netbook, tablet, desktop, virtual terminal. And definitions for these are also provided below the table. Table 10, this is the sample for internet connectivity, and this is day 4. And the particulars are provided for. And there are tick boxes for elementary, junior, and senior high school for us to fill up. Internet service provider refers to the organization that provides service for accessing, using, or participating in the internet, which is also provided below the table. Table 11, it is the number of existing instructional rooms in the school by level of education. And instructional rooms refers to the rooms used for instruction. Example, classroom SPED, classroom elementary, classroom junior high school, classroom senior high school, ALS room, audiovisual, computer room, industrial arts room, and so on. And
For Table 12, the number of existing non-instructional rooms in the school by level of education for school year 2020-2021 looks like this. And non-instructional rooms refers to the rooms which is used for non-instructional purposes, for example, library or learning resource center, canteen, clinic, conference room, offices, faculty room, museum, supply room, conference room, and so on. For Table 13, this is the form for the number of existing classroom furniture by level of education. And classroom furniture refers to the furniture used by learners in a classroom, example, desks, sets of chairs and tables, armchairs, and others. For Table 14, this is also the form for the availability of electrical supply. And when we say grid supply, it refers to the electricity coming from major or local power distribution, example, electric cooperatives such as, and here it's provided as Meralco, but here in Baguio it is we refer it to Beneco. Off-grid supply refers to the electricity coming from alternative source of power, example, solar power, generator, hydroelectric, microhydro, wind turbine, windmill, and others. And for no source of electricity, this means that it refers to without existing electrical supply at all. But for Baguio City, maybe there is no source of, there is no correct answer, there is no answer for no source of electricity. For Table 15, the availability of water supply refers to the following form. And when we say local piped water, it refers to water source coming from local water source providers. For water well, it is an excavation structure in the ground by digging, driving, boring, or drilling to access water in underground aquifers. Rainwater catchment refers to the water source from rainwater and collected through a rainwater collector. And for natural source, it refers to the water source from a spring or stream that is either located inside the school grounds or located outside school grounds, but water is supplied via pipes. For Table 17, it refers to the form for number of sanitation facilities. And this is how it looks like. It includes also box 1 for mental health. And you must check or provide the appropriate answers which are being asked in this form. For a closer look for box 1, this is how it looks like. This is the continuation. Number 8. Box 2. This is for tobacco control for school year 2020-2021. You just check or provide the correct answers for the following informations being asked or following questions. Like for, is there at least one store or shop within 100 meters from any point of the perimeter of the school that sells 2.8 tobacco products, 2.B vape or e-cigarettes, and so on. Let's go. That's the continuation for box 2. And again, the school head must certify the informations given. And this is also for box 3, child protection. Let us just check the appropriate answers. For example, does the school have a child protection committee? Let us check yes or no, and so on. Box 4, this is for child protection provided for violence against children. Let us just provide the appropriate answers. However, violence against children refers to a single act or series of acts committed by school administrators, academic and non-academic personnel against the child, which is under the 040 Series 2012. And when we say incidents recorded, it refers to incidents of violence reported to the school regardless of criminal or admin case filed. And the perpetrator is defined as an adult, including any school personnel teaching or non-teaching. And other acts of violence refers to physical, sexual, or psychological nature that are prejudicial to the child, which is also under the DepEd Order 40 Series 2012. So let us just visit DepEd Order 40, Series 2020-12 for a clear view for this violence against children. For box 5, this is how it looks like. Child protection for bullying. Let us just provide the appropriate answers. For example, physical bullying, the cyberbullying, gender-based bullying, social bullying. And what is being asked here, a number of reported incidents of bullying or peer abuse by type of violence. Box 5, this is the continuation. And when we say bullying or peer abuse, it refers to any severe or repeated use by one or more students of a written, verbal, or electrical expression or physical act or gesture or any combination thereof directed at another student, which is provided by DepEd Order 55 Series of 2013. And when we say incidents recorded, it refers to incidents of bullying reported to the schools regardless of criminal or administrative case filed. For physical bullying, it refers to any unwanted physical contact between the bully and the victim. Cyberbullying refers to any bullying done through using technology or any electrical means. Example, instant messaging. And for gender-based bullying, it also refers to any act that humiliates or excludes a person on the basis of perceived or actual sexual orientation and gender identity. And for social bullying, it also refers to any social behavior intended to hurt others or to belittle another individual, which includes verbal or social exclusion. Verbal and social exclusion. This is the continuation of box 5. Usual reasons for bullying that were recorded by the schools. We must provide the reasons for elementary up to senior high school. And this is table 18. For disasters, calamities, let us just provide the number of times the following hazard occurred in your school and its immediate surroundings. Example, for natural hazards, drought, earthquake, fire, flood, landslide. And for human-induced hazards, it includes bomb threat in school premises, bombing in school premises, crime against learners, crime against non-teaching personnel, crime against school heads, against school property, against teaching personnel, and others. And it must also be reported for the months provided in table 19. This is the form for disaster, calamities, or human-induced hazards for armed conflicts and grave child rights abuse violation, which hopefully is not applicable for Baguio City. Tama po ba, Mama? And for table 20, the results of disaster incidents. Let us provide the appropriate answers. For number of classrooms used as evacuation center, classrooms used, classrooms lost due to class suspension. Number of school days lost due to class suspensions resulting from natural hazards. Number of school days lost due to class suspensions resulting from human-induced hazards. And number of school days lost due to class suspension resulting from armed conflict. This is the sample for box 6, which is the enabling environment for the months of June 2019 to May 2020. Let us just check the appropriate boxes that correspond to the RRN, CCA peace building initiatives conducted, which is the following. There, for example, designated school DRRM coordinator, one school DRRM team, school DRRM team have defined roles and responsibilities and functions and others, and so on. For box 7, this provides for safe learning facilities for the months of June 2019 to May 2020. Let us just check or provide the appropriate answers being asked, which includes the number of classrooms with risk assessments, number of unsafe classroom identified, school facilities which are sensitive to the needs of persons with disability, school conducting regular inspection of school facilities. For the following months of June up to December for the year 2019, and from January to May for 2020. and so on. This is the continuation of box 7. And there are also some definitions included there, which includes the ancillary, the non-instructional, and the risk assessments, the unsafe classrooms, as well as the DepEd orders for their basis. For box 8, this is the sample of the form for school disaster management, which must be for the months of June 2019 to May 2020. Again, we are going to check or provide the appropriate answers being asked. This is the continuation, which must be certified by the school head and validated by the Planning and Research Office. This is box 9, disaster risk reduction in education, which must be for the months of June 2019 to May 2020. Let us just check or provide the appropriate answers. For example here, first, what is being asked is school teaches the RM or CCA and peace building related concepts for the following subjects and for the following grade levels. For the RM, for peace building, from kindergarten to junior high school. And next, this is the continuation. And lastly, this is table 21. This is the form provided for disaster risk reduction in education, the RM, CCA, and peace building trainings for the months of June 2019 to May 2020. Here we are going to provide the number of personnel who have attended any disaster risk reduction in education initiatives or training. For teaching personnel, administrative and support personnel, and we're going to total the trained personnel who must be a male. Let us also identify if they are male or female and provide their total. For psychological first aid, this refers to an evidence-informed modular approach to help children, adolescents, adults, and families in the immediate aftermath of disaster and terrorism. Individuals affected by disaster or traumatic incident, whether survivors, witnesses, or respondents to such events, who may struggle with or face new challenges following the event. PFA was developed by the National Child Traumatic Stress Network and the National Centers for PTSD, with contribution from individuals involved in disaster research and responses. The definitions were provided below the tables, and let us just read them again when we encounter these tables. And this is the box 10, disaster risk reduction in education for the information, education, and communication IEC materials for the months of June 2019 to May 2020 as usual. Again, let us just check, provide appropriate answers. Let us please not leave any blanks in answering these items. And next, box 11, which is for the armed conflict related initiatives for the months of June 2019 to May 2020. Let us please provide appropriate answers or check the boxes. And here, there is also, this form includes a definition or explanation for schools as zone of peace, wherein it is a site with sacred, religious, historic, educational, cultural, geographical, or environmental importance, which is protected and preserved by its own community and officially recognized by governmental authority. Safe Schools Declaration is also explained here. And for box 12, this is how it looks like. For Indigenous Peoples Education, iPad program for school year 2020-2021 as of October 31, 2020. Let us answer all what is being asked by checking or providing the appropriate answers. And please be reminded that teachers shall be counted only once. If a teacher is teaching more than one grade, he or she shall be accounted to be grade level where he or she teaches the most number of hours. However, if he or she teaches an equal number of hours per grade level, he or she shall be counted to the highest grade level assignment. And this refers to the numbers of teachers within the school municipality, outside the school municipality. And that ends our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions po? Again, anyway, the links was provided by Ma'am Maling previously. So if let us just visit po the links for us to see the samples of the presentations. Most especially the forms. Lalo na po at may mga natanggal na tables for SY2019 which were not included for SY2020-2021. Mamali. Take it away, ma'am.
Hello po. Hi. Mag-open kung sino
Hello
gusto
po.
mag-open ng mic po.
Ma'am, hello.
Sige, hinga po muna tayo ng malalim at magko-question po ako.
Hello.
Ilang boxes po ulit tayo? Ilang tables po ang meron sa PSP? Si Sir Romeo naka-on. Sir Romeo, ag-on ka
Good ma'am.
Sir, hasan na?
25 na yung dati 38 at least bumaba.
Hello, Sir Romeo.
Hello po
Kumusta
ma'am.
po kayo?
Ay, mabuti naman po.
Ilang boxes nga po ulit ang ating PSP?
Nako. Naalala ko 25.
Sir, nakamute ka.
Ay, nakamute. Hindi ma'am. Okay naman po. Really? Nakamute daw ako.
Okay naman, Sir Romeo.
Hello.
Nakikinig ka, naririnig ka.
Ay, okay ma'am.
Sir Romeo, ang kaway nga mangag. Bueno siya gayam tiya nga mangag. Ayan, daytan. Sige, Sir Romeo, kumusta po kayo?
Ay, mabuti naman po ma'am.
Sir, ilan yung narinig mo na boxes at saka tables?
Yung tables, 25 from 38. At least bumaba. 25, 20.
Wow, naaalala ni Sir Romeo yung dati nating PSP.
Yun ang mas marami.
Tapos po, ang boxes ay?
Ay, parang isang lang yata. Ay.
Sir, hindi 12. Ilan ba ulit? 12. 12. Limasit.
Opo,
sige. Okay, thank you, Sir Romeo. Wow, very hands-on naman si Sir Romeo sa paggawa ng kanilang PSP. Okay, very good po. Okay, sir, thank you, Sir Romeo. For the sake of those who just actually handling the LIS or EBIS, I will be providing you the basics, no? The basics of how we'll be able to go log in doon sa ating LIS up to the EBIS. Or unless alam na ni Sir Romeo. Sir, patulong ako. Sige. Sino pa dito po? Okay, so very happy po tayo. We are 85 now in the room. May kakaisang siguro nawalan lang siya ng internet. Very nice, very good participation po from the schools, from the private schools. Okay, now I actually borrowed the account of Sir Marlon. Pero ni-reset ko po siya para mamaya i-reset ko ulit para hindi ko alam ang kanyang password. Kasi baka bigla kong i-open. Sir Marlon, okay lang ba? Sa mga kasamahan natin na iba, especially the senior high schools, no? You might be still, ang tawag nito, wondering po, kung meron kayong separate na private school profile, wala po. Minsanan lang yung template, no? So kung ang private school, meron siyang elementary, meron po siyang junior, meron siyang senior, iisa lang. So kung senior high school lang, ang inyong profile ay iisa lang. Ang curricular offering nyo ay yun lang din, the same template din ang ma-generate nyo. Okay? So PSP pa rin ang tawag. Unlike sa public schools, nag-iiba-iba siya according to curricular offering. If we say curricular offering, that is according to the K-12 curriculum from kindergarten, tapos elementary, that's grades 1 to 6, junior high school, that's grades 7 to 10, and senior high school, that's grades 11 to 12. Kaya magkaiba pag tinanong natin na ano yung curricular offering nyo sa ano yung physical as to physical data ng inyong school. No? Pag tinanong namin, ilan ang physical data as to physical data ang inyong school, isa lang ang eskwelahan nyo. Pero meron kayong 3 curricular offering. So, ganoon minsan ang pagsagot natin. Okay? Kung meron kayong from elementary up to senior high school. Sige, umpisahan na natin. Ready na kayo? Magpapa-exam ako pagkatapos. Kade, joke lang. Joke lang. Para ngumiti kayo. Ngumiti tayong lahat. Okay? Sige, magsasample na tayo. Ganito ang gagawin natin. Actual, no? Pagpunta natin sa ating mga accounts later. Sige. Nakikita na po ang aking window. So you go to the browser and then
Yes, ma'am.
all right, thank you. Sige, feel free lang especially sa mga kasama natin na first time na na-assign as coordinators or even the school heads, no? Yung mga kasamahan natin na first time na mag-handle na or makita or manavigate ang ating LIS BEIS. So you go to lis.deped.gov.ph, search nyo lang po sa ating browser. And then, sige, naka-sign out ko muna ito kasi may nag-login ako kanina for the junior, public, junior, and senior high school. Sige. Sana si Sir Marlon. Sir Marlon, ano nga ulit yung username ninyo? 3 ulit sir. Ano nga ulit po? 4815 45 yes, small ano? Plain. Okay. So i-default ko muna ito kasi ni-reset ko kasi kanina. Ay hindi pala. Nalagyan ko na siya ng password. Ayaw niya naman. Okay. Oh. Tama ba sa aking username? Oh.
481545, ma'am.
481545, alright. Ako, ayaw niya mag-open. Saglit ha. Ganito na lang muna. I-demo ko na lang din how to reset password, no? Para alam niyo just in case nakalimutan or naka-invalid yung inyong password. So, ang pwedeng mag-reset ng ating mga password ay si school head at saka si Saka si... Wala. Ayaw na sa akin. Okay. Ang pwedeng mag-reset, si system admin, pwede niyang i-reset si school head. At si school head, pwede niya rin i-reset si school admin. So, pag nakalimutan nyo at kailangan nyong mag-login, you go po. Pwede kayo mismo ang mag-reset ng inyong username and password. So, pupuntahan ko si St. Joseph. School ID mo ulit, sir? 15, ulit. Ano nga ulit, sir? Ang use ang 481545. St. Joseph de Mary. So, ang pag-reset, and then you go to the person or the username, tapos reset password lang. So, ang makikita nyo doon ay ang default password. Pag sinabi nating default password, pag nag-login kayo later, yun din yung gagamitin nyo na username at saka password, and then maghahanap siya ng new password. Bakit ayaw niya talaga? Ayan. So, maghahanap siya ng new password. Later, Sir Marlon, i-reset ulit natin ito, ano?
Sige po.
Apo. Ayan. So, na-open na natin. So, again, no, sa mga coordinators natin dito, pwede ho kayo ang mag-reset ng inyong mga password using your system admin account or school head account. So, what do? You go now to the basic education dito sa upper right corner na ito sa pangalan ng username. Ng username ay meron siyang drop down. You just go to the basic education information system. At mag-a-appear doon, yan, yung tatlo na menu, the dashboard, upload, and then tutorial. So, go tayo sa upload. Nag-iikot siya. Pero minsan nag-iikot lang siya, pero pag i-click mo, mag-a-appear ito. So, habang nag-appear na, i-click mo na kaagad. Minsan nawawala. Medyo, siya, mahiyain pa siya. Sige. So, pag na-download nyo na, makikita nyo sa lower part ng inyong browser, yung na-download nyo na PSP. Again, ulitin po natin yon. Huwag po kayong kukuha ng template ng iba. Kukuha lang po kayo ng template nyo sa inyong account. Klaro po ba yon? Copy? Copy po? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, thank you. Itong sample na to na na-download ko, thank you so much. Itong sample na to na na-download ko, ilalagay ko ito sa reference na folder mamaya as your reference only, but do not duplicate. Do not copy and paste. Okay po? Manual input po kayo sa inyong mada-download na PSP template, kanya-kanya. Bawal po muna ang sharing dahil COVID. Dahil COVID, hindi. Dahil mag-error ang inyong template kapag malalaman ni system, no, mautak si system, malalaman ni system kung yun ay na-generate mo or na-download mo sa iyong account o hindi. Okay, so para hindi hassle, again, you upload sa kanya-kanyang school account, school head account. Alright. So, i-stop sharing ko muna ito para go ako doon sa actual na na-download ko. Alright? Sige. May tanong muna kayo po para sa ating pagpunta. How to log in. So far, klaro na ba? Klaro naman po. Pakisabi lang din kung mabilis, may tanong kayo, gano'n. Kasi ang usual namin na nare-receive dito sa office ay how to reset, how to log in, ganyan, no? So, siguro dahil bago lang sila na task to do the LIS or EBIS. But that's okay, it's okay. But at least kung malesen natin sana yung in terms of efficiency, mas madali. Alright. May nagtataas ng kamay, si Ma'am Grace. Ikaw ba to, Ma'am Grace, or si Ma'am Queen Celine? Hindi ko ma-determine kung kaninong account. It's Ma'am Queen Celine or Ma'am Grace. Nakataas po, naka-raise hand sila. Anything po? Go ahead po. Ma'am Quincy or Ma'am Grace?
Ma'am, hindi po ako.
Ay, hindi ba, ma'am? Ma'am
Hindi po.
Quincy ito. O, sige, ma'am, paki-lower hand mo na lang siguro. Kung
Okay, sorry.
baka napindot lang, ma'am.
Napindot
Ay, hindi
lang.
parehas. Napindot yun nga tuwa, ma'am. Sige, ma'am, paki-lower yun lahat. Ni Ma'am Grace sa Jamaisa.
Well, pindot ma'am ko.
Ay, Ma'am Grace. Hello, hello. Ayan, thank you, Ma'am Grace. Ma'am Grace, ada ngay raise ha, medyo lower right ngay nga kwa, ipindot data. Awan. Ma'am, nagpintas matanda ito, profile pic mo. Sige. Ayan. Okay, sige. So, ang i-open ko na po ngayon, yung actual po na na-download natin, na-generate natin from our school head account. So, allow me to present po yung template. Ay, hindi pa siya nag-appear. Sige. Okay. Yun. Ayan. This is now the PSP or the private school profile template. Okay. So, kanina, na isa-isa ni Ma'am Vima, yung mga tables and boxes ng ating PSP. But this time, allow me to reiterate some of the instructions and go over, navigate yung actual natin na template. Okay lang ba? Okay
Yes,
lang. Alright, sige. So, pagka-download natin, thank you, pagka-download natin ng ating template, kailangan muna natin siyang i-save. So, you go to the specific folder na gusto nyong pag-savean ng inyong PSP, and then wag nyo nang papalitan yung automatic na na-download nyo na PSP V2021.02.23, tapos dagdagan nyo ng inyong school name, yung actual, yung official name ninyo, wag yung shortcut ha, wag po yung shortcut. So ito I see Saint Joseph de Mary, small po ba yung ganun? De Mary,
Yes.
or malalaki po? Dire-diretsuhin na lang natin, sir. De Mary
Academy po.
Academy. Alright. So, ganyan, no? No need to indicate kung junior, senior, hindi na. Ganyan na siya. Unlike doon sa public, i-indicate nila kung junior or senior. Klaro sa atin? Then you save. Okay. So, pag nakasave na, tsaka tayo magsimulang mag-edit. We start from the upper right, and that is the school ID, the 48. Oops, hindi pa siya nag-reserve.
481545.
So, 48, nagsisave pa. Sige. Nabannog di laptop kun kakabsat. Okay, sige, nagsisave lang siya, hindi tayo maka-edit kapag nagsisave siya. Okay, habang nagsisave siya, patalastas lang po ang inyong enrollment po sa LIS. Kung sakasakaling hindi pa po kayo nakakumpleto ng enrollment, may we remind po that we need to enroll na our learners kasi po baka mag-close ang ating beginning of school year, no? Baka mag-close po siya. I-remind din namin ito sa mga public schools. Okay, so yan, Sir Joseph, 481545. Tama ba, Sir Marlon?
Yes, ma'am. 481545.
Alright, sige. So, isample natin si Sir Joseph. Lakihan natin ng konti ito para makikita natin. So, Saint Joseph de Mary Academy. Then may previous name po kayo, Sir Joseph?
Ma'am Marlon po.
Ay, Sir Marlon, Sir Joseph. Sir Marlon.
Learning
Sir,
Center po dati.
alin po?
Joseph Demery Learning Center. Dati.
Saint Joseph Demery Learning Center. Alright. And then may ano po ang address nila? 29.
Puro 5.
Okay, puro 5. Ayan eh. Puro 5. Irisan. And then Baguio City. Alright. Benguet. And then 2600. Okay. So bago tayo mag-proceed, we read again the instruction. Mali ako, sorry. So uunahin muna natin yung instruction para alam natin. This form shall be accomplished by the head of all private schools, meaning si school head or any head of the office, no, offering elementary and or secondary levels. In the case of schools or institutions offering more than one level, one school profile shall be accomplished. Only private schools whose establishment has been approved by DepEd Regional Office shall be issued a private school profile. So, hindi lahat ay paki-check na lang po ng mabuti ang ating mga permits, no, ang ating mga recognitions, certifications. Private schools whose documents have been submitted to the regional office but are still ongoing evaluation at the time of the distribution of the PSP can also be issued this form. So, yung mga existing na mga ongoing, pwede daw pala. The head of the school shall sign the form certifying to the correctness of the data and shall be responsible and accountable for any inaccuracy or false data information reported. He or she shall submit the accomplished forms to the respective schools division offices. So important, we have to read the definitions or instructions found at the bottom of each table before filling up the form. Very important yon. May mga definitions kasi doon and instructions and some reminders. No items should be left blank. Instead, 0 shall be written. Shaded boxes shall not be filled. So yung mga shaded, at lahat lang ng may puti, yung mga not shaded ang mga fill upan natin. The rest, hindi na. So pagdating dito sa region, may drop down siya. I-click hahanapin natin si CAR. And then division, hahanapin din natin si drop down natin na Baguio City. Okay? So alam niya, no? Alam niya na kung saan na-generate ito na division, di ba? Or na region. Kaya wag po kayong kukuha sa ibang site. Ano po? Doon lang sa account. And then legislative district natin ay ano po ulit? Doon tayo sa loan. Nag-iisang si Baguio. Okay, telephone number, Sir Marlon. Please. 620-4782. Alright. Okay, itong mobile number na ito, kung may official number kayo sa office, okay lang din. Kung personal nyo, okay lang din. Kasi kayo rin yung tatawagan pag gabi po. Minsan tinatawagan kayo ng gabi, ano? Oo, sige, Sir Marlon, anong ilalagay natin dito? Sample lang.
0915
0915
431
431
4504.
4504. Alright. And then fax po, meron po ba?
Ma'am, 0.
0. Okay. Website?
0 na lang.
0. Email address ng office po or ikaw po? Pwede.
Yung sa office, ma'am, SJDMLC.
SJD St. Joseph Demery MLC
at gmail.com.
At gmail.com. Alright. Establish po.
2010, ma'am.
2010. And then date of opening of classes.
Ma'am, this is school year po or?
Yeah, this is school year.
Okay. August 24.
August 24, 2020. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Sige. So, mag-automatic po siya na maglalagay ng month day, year. Okay. So, i-check natin if the school is local, foreign, or private madaris. So, tayo ay, syempre, local. Okay. Ano lang po yung mga expected natin na foreign dito sa Baguio? Ang foreign or international ay si Brent po so far po. Ano? And then, write appropriate information. With permit, si kindergarten, ilalagay po natin dito yung permit or recognition number, and then the date of submission of documents to regional, kung ongoing yung process niya. Kung ongoing yung process. So, you check on your respective documents, kung ano po yung mga permit ninyo, ano yung recognition, or ano yung permit on process ninyo, the date of submission. Okay? So, hindi na natin to fill upan. Sa actual na lang ni Sir Marlon ito. And then, sino ang ilalagay nyo dito? Si school head. So, in this case, ang school head, Sir Marlon, ay si Sir Marlon. Tama po ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir Marlon. Sir, anong middle name ulit po?
B po, ma'am.
B. Angaga. Ano po ang position, sir? School head. Okay, Vice President. Ganyan na lang siya, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, sige. Ang ating ilalagay, okay. You will notice that every table, below the table, for every page, for example, meron mga boxes na ganito. Try natin na i-fill out, and then yung succeeding nun, i-assignment ko na lang, no? And then we will upload doon sa ating tools para gawin yung sample, para yung mga pangalan ilalagay nyo na rin so that when you print, nakalagay na yung mga pangalan. So for this, ang ating Senior Education Program Specialist for Monitoring and Evaluation, for now, meron tayong OIC, and that is Ma'am Jocelyn Coldec. Jocelyn, nung middle illusion ni Manang Josie, C. Coldec. Okay. So, and then sa ating validated by planning officer, so si Ma'am Olivia O. Gomez. Alright. Ganyan. So, pag pupunta tayo sa tables, sa mga ibang tables, at the same ang hinahanap na data element, mag-automatic siya. So, nakita nyo? Nandun na yung pangalan ni Sir Marlon. Hindi na natin siya uulitin. Nandun na rin si Ma'am Josie, nandun na rin si Ma'am Olivia Gomez. So, nakita po ninyo yon. So, ito yung sinasabi niya kanina na kapag may kulay na ang ating template, yung cell na yon, no need for you to enter data. Okay? Only the uncolored mga data. Okay? Bakit may nakalagay dito na 1 si Sir? Oh, may cancer. Nalagyan ko ba yan kanina? Okay. Yes? So, for every table, malalagyan siya. May mga data dito, may mga validators tayo na kailangan din isulat sa ibang office, no? I will be including them later on and upload sa ating Google Drive. Alright? So, that's it. Unless you would want to navigate the rest of the tables, pero nabanggit naman kanina ni Ma'am Bima, I think importante doon, you just have to take note of the reminders. Let's say, for example, ito, LWDs with 2 or more manifestations, the data shall be counted under dominant or prevalent manifestations or difficulty. So, sabi niya doon, ang nakalagay kasi ay with diagnosis from licensed medical specialist. Pero kapag sabi niya, with 2 or more, ilalagay na natin siya sa with manifestation. Shall be counted under dominant, sabi niya. So, ilalagay nyo na siya dito sa multiple or sa baba. Yung mga 2 or more. Okay? So, meaning, makakount siya not only once. Dito sa taas, once yon. Alright? So, klaro yon sa atin. Tapos, you take note also for those yung mga data na dapat nagtatali. Kasi kung hindi kayo nagtatali, hindi nyo siya ma-upload later. Hanap tayo na dapat nagtatali. Usually yon sa number of personnel. Tingnan natin. Okay, ito. Ayan. Nakikita nyo po yung reminder sa baba. Okay. Yan. Sabi dito, the number, number 3, tingnan natin ito. The total number of qualified trained teachers shall be less than or equal to the number of teachers. So, ano yung nakalagay doon? Ito yung number of teachers from kindergarten to grade 12. At dapat magtatali siya doon less than or equal to the number of teachers. Yung total number of qualified trained teachers. Sabi niya. This is for the personnel data. Trained teachers, sabi niya, no? So ito, teachers who receive training while in service from July 29 to 2020. Trained teachers, ayan din. So dapat equal or less than or equal to the number of total teachers. Okay yan? Okay? So klaro sa atin yon. We take note of that. So in this case, si ating SEPs ng ating SMME ang ating validator hanggang dito sa tables na ito. Ayan. So, sabi doon sa table 7, if a teacher is receiving more than one training on ICT, he or she can be counted more than once. So, ito yung mga ite-take note natin sa pag-count ng data natin. Okay? Ayan, more than once. Sabi niya doon. There. Nandun naman yung mga definitions natin about pedagogy, constructivist teaching, inquiry-based. So kung mapapansin ninyo, sa mga tables na to, hindi lang iisa actually ang source ng data. Maraming mga offices ang mapagtatanungan ni principal or ni school head to accomplish the template. So it's really very important to collaborate, no, as to the completion of the PSP. Hanggang doon sa table 25 na yan. Okay? Sige. Any questions so far? Any question po? Ayan.
Malin?
Yes po. Yes, so go ahead po.
Yes, one point of clarification lang po. Ma'am, yung mostly kasi ng mga boxes and tables natin is for school year 2020-2021. Bali yung box 3 and 4 lang po yung sa may bullying part and child protection policy. Doon namin ipapattern yung school year 2019-2020.
Sige, puntahan natin si box 1.
Box 3 to 4 ata yung sa child protection policy.
Mental health. Okay, mental health. Sige. Box 2.
3 to 4 and 5 po.
Oops. Tobacco. And then 3 to 4. Child protection, yeah, that's for data from 2019 to 2020. Yes, correct po kayo, Sir Marlon. Ang ating data ay manggagaling noong last school year so far.
So the rest is 2020-2021 na po.
Basta take note of the guide kung dito ilalagay niya dito sa part na to kung ano ang cut-off, ano ang reference na date, kung yan ay current or yon ay previous school years siya. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sir Marlon. Any other clarifications po? Paki-take note nyo po, may mga maliliit katulad nito, no? May maliliit like itong number 2, Usually, ito yung mga nami-miss ngay kapag ano na siya, does the school have a student code of conduct? Ganon. Minsan nami-miss na itinitik yung mga small yan na mga items or elements, tapos nag-error. Ang hirap mo ulit hanapin isa-isa per box. So, you please go over every boxes or every table before you proceed to the next para hindi po kayo uulit. Ayan. So once na nakaset, ulitin ko po once na nakaset na kasi kung sino yung signatory dito, hindi nyo na siya uulitin. Okay, so thank you, Sir Marlon. Any other clarifications po? Hindi nyo tatanungin kung bakit nila to lahat kinukuha po? Hindi. Hindi nyo po tatanungin? Yeah, this is for policy making as an education sector, no. Usually nagre-report sila sa UNICEF, sa SDG, maalala niyo po, meron tayong Sustainable Development Goals. Yan, so kinukuha nila ito both public and private as an input to the SDGs and other international reports also sa atin. And including yung ating PDP or Philippine Development Plan. Yan, nire-report nila yan as status ng ating education sector sa Pilipinas. O di ba? Maganda dahil nakaka-contribute tayo sa data na binibigay ng ating central office to the national level until sa international level. Okay? And hopefully, di ba? Sana meron silang ma-extend na support. Ma-extend na support. But for now, in terms of the mental health, we are providing and informing again sa lahat that we have the cordless program or the e-counseling program. For those schools without a guidance counselor, you can actually refer and we will accommodate them. Meron tayong division memo on that, on cordless care. Pwede kayong mag-refer po ng mga estudyante nyo na sa tingin nyo kailangan nila ng assistance. Okay? Sige. So, i-close ko na po ito. You can read all of the tables and review. You can have meeting with your staff prior to the filling out of the template. Okay. Ay. Nagsisave siya. Sige. Habang nagsisave, meron po kayong mga katanungan pa? Wala? Ako po magtatanong. Kumusta po ang LIS ninyo?
Yan sana yung question, ma'am.
Kumusta po?
LIS, ma'am.
Oo, mag-LIS na tayo kasi tapos na si EBIS. EBIS naman matagal-tagal, mga isang buwan naman, halos isang buwan ang pag-fill out ninyo ng template. So, marami kayong panahon para masagot po itong mga to. So, ulitin ko po ang after nyo ito ma-fill out, then mag-upload po kayo sa system, and then mag-print po kayo ng hard copy. Isang kopya lang po isasubmit nyo dito. I-validate po namin yan, both doon sa hard copy at saka sa system. In case na meron kaming mga nakita na data na kailangan palitan or i-adjust, or based on monitoring, ganon, then we will request you to revise or update the data. Kapag na-validate na namin sa system, idadrop nyo na po siya, yung e-copy ninyo, yung e-copy ng inyong PSP doon sa folders na binigay namin, sa link na binigay namin kanina. Okay? Sige? So, yes po, go ahead po.
May tanong ata si Ma'am Sarah offline.
Ma'am, kanino?
Ma'am Sarah?
Ma'am Sarah, go ahead po. Ma'am Sarah, go ahead, ma'am. Or si Ma'am Vanessa. Ma'am Vanessa, ikaw po bang may tanong? Go ahead po. Ay, hindi po. Sige, sige. So, habang hinintay natin si Ma'am Sara, please make your school be counted po, no, ng ating sa central office para alam nila na tayo ay nandito tayo as one of the private schools po ng DepEd Baguio para hindi po sila ayaw po mag-unmute. It's okay, Ma'am Sara. Ayaw niya mag-unmute. Sige, ma'am. Paki-type na lang, ma'am, kung ano po yung katanungan niyo po. Sir Harris, access denied daw po yung attendance natin. Okay po. So while waiting sa pagta-type ni Ma'am Sara, you please kindly download po or install po the DepEd Baguio Customer Communication App or CC app. You please evaluate po yung ating technical assistance. This is one form of technical assistance po sa inyo. Sa isang menu po doon may nakalagay feedback. So please rate us po based po doon sa mga indicators na nakalagay doon. Again po, DepEd sa Google Play Store, please install DepEd Baguio CC app for the evaluation. Okay? So, ang tanong ay, paano po pala ang process kapag may mali sa name ng pupil? LIS na si ma'am. O sige, pag may mali sa name ng pupil, una po nating proseso, you have to check on the documents, meaning doon sa PSA ng bata, i-check nyo po kung alin po ang naka-indicate doon. Yun po ang susundan natin. Ngayon, kung ang mali po ay yung ating system, meron po tayong housekeeping later, pwede nyong i-edit yung name. Kung na-enroll nyo na siya, no? Na-enroll nyo na, nandoon na sa inyong system, meron tayong housekeeping later, ma-edit nyo yung profile ng bata. Pero kung i-enroll nyo pa lang, pwede nyo na siyang i-edit based doon sa naka-indicate sa kanyang birth certificate. Ibang kaso naman po, kung ang bata ay mag-change ng name, no? Mag-change ng name, na papalitan yung birth certificate. Hindi ho natin pwedeng mapalitan yung nasa LIS hanggat hindi na-update ang birth certificate. So dalawang kaso po yun, ano? Yung kanyang mismong birth certificate ang mali at yung kanyang birth certificate ang tama at mali sa LIS. So you check whichever is applicable sa kaso. Ma'am Sara, no? Okay. Question rin po on district names. Ano pong district ng Irisan Schools? I will be sharing with you the districting. Meron po tayong memo on redistricting sa DepEd Fines. Saglit po, ay search po natin. DepEd Fines.
Sinugot na na Sir Marlon.
Ma'am, District 7 po ang Irisan.
District Mar. Sige, Sir Marlon. O yan, si Sir Marlon ang ating savior. Sige po, District 7 daw po ang Irisan. Okay. 318? Okay. Division Memo 318, Series of 2020 po. Paki-check nyo po sa mga ibang mga schools, especially po sa ating senior high schools po na mga standalone. Paki-check nyo po yung Division Memo 318, Series of 2020. Okay? Sige. Meron pa po tayong mga katanungan. Sige, mag-LIS tayo habang nandito po tayo. Inform ko na lang din po kayo regarding sa na-receive namin na mga feedback from public schools rin po. At later, i-feedback ko rin po kung meron kayong gustong iparating sa mga public schools. So far, ang pinaka-concern sa atin ngayon sa private schools, yung mga may financial obligation, no? Mga pending financial obligation. At hindi nare-release na cards Ang card po, uulitin po natin. Ang card po ay SF9. Ang SF9 po ay hindi ito hinuhold pa dahil meron silang financial obligation. Katulad do ng sabi natin noon, ang ating facility naglalagay naman siya whether may financial obligation siya. At ang hinuhold usually ng mga schools ay yung kanilang SF10 until such time na magkaroon ng agreement. But for the SF9, please release nyo naman po kasi that's the basis of enrollment noong mga receiving schools. Makikiusap po kami. May mga na-identify po kaming mga schools na based on reports, hindi daw po nagre-release. So, nasabihan po kami ni superintendent natin at ni ASDS to really coordinate with you po as to the release of the SF9, the card po muna until such time that we will request also the receiving schools to inform the parents to coordinate with you para naman po sa ganon magkaroon po ng agreement as to the payment process or as to the payment scheme ng hindi nabayaran po na obligation ng bata po. Siyempre with the parents po, hindi naman yung bata, yung mga magulang or guardian ng bata. Okay po? Sige. So far, yes po.
Ma'am Rinalyn.
Ma'am Grace, sige Ma'am Grace, go ahead po.
Sorry, I used the account of my daughter, si Teacher Cecilito. The problem is that we have a case that they enrolled in a school, they enrolled our students. We are wondering, the cards are still at school at the registrar's office. Yun ang problema.
Paano ma'am? Paano Ma'am Grace?
Nag-enroll sila sa ibang school, sa public, nandito pa rin yung cards nila. And then the registrar of the public school for the enrolled is asking us to what they call this one, in the LIS, they confirm, so in-confirm namin lahat. We are wondering why the cards are still here, but the enrolled. Kaya kinonfirm namin sila sa LIS, ma'am.
I see. So that's another case, ma'am.
Yes. Kaya our plea sana, ma'am, is that to help us also in the private schools, the public schools also will need yung basic requirements sana Ma'am Rinalyn na alam da nga iti card da talaga nga ikwada nga talaga nga insist da nga before enrollment you should really show the card that no matulungan kami basit nga kulitat tuition fee, ma'am.
Okay. That is noted, Ma'am Grace. Opo, that is noted, Ma'am Grace. Well noted po yan. May paparating po natin. Opo, may paparating po natin yan sa ating management, including the schools, public schools po. But as per policy, Ma'am Grace, meron po kasi tayong enrollment policy that they can actually accept po yung mga students even without documents, but they are given certain period po to accomplish. So, ang ating mga schools po ay nasabihan naman na dapat ay meron silang marireceive na card. So, isang kaso po ito ng an instance where pwede sigurong hindi nakukuha ng magulang po ba yung card dahil may financial obligation. Ganun po ba yun, ma'am?
Isa yun. That's one reason.
Yes.
Pero ang sana, di ba, we understand all yung sitwasyon natin lahat. So, kahit may mata kumakat umayda, may kisa, ako na nga mabalimbangan ang meet card me. We are so much naman, willing enough to, mabalingan sa 5 pesos, we are so much naman very adjust. Yung lang sana, tatno ang mumingit sitwasyon. And then, parang pati kami, private schools is really naman. Talagang may pusirin kami na kaya actually ngayon lahat kahit may account niya sa amin, we confirm talaga sa LIS. Ngayon mo balbalin ko And then one thing more, emphasize lang ako mati private school, ngayon they will really come and really get the permanent forms. Kasi ngayon, we notice also na diba, sa LIS pag na-confirm na some schools don't require yung permanent form. Kat nagbayad niya, diyan Ma'am Rinalyn nga, ikuha na diyan, kat takalaw nga makatulong diyan ka na kami. Nga private schools to really kuha na account. I think we are all in the same boat kadagitag din ng na private schools. Iti problema, ma'am. So, actually, ngayon we really confirm every kami estudyante, tadi ay garod niyo ko na we talk to you ko na yung you should confirm and then you talk with the parent. Ti marita ta na confirm kanina nagsubsubli dagi jay the parent pen mo nagbayad.
Ma'am, na-confirm hantay nga na send jay SF10 da kas jay ma'am?
Na-confirm na amin, ma'am.
Tapos han nga na send ma'am JSF10 pay
na gana some JF is tenda ada tidak duma na nga eskwelaan nga kwa ng tidak duma nga eskwelaan may mati ko mga i-request na di nga talaga tatno nga kwa makatulong na unay. There was a year nga talaga nga we really we were so very thankful because talaga nga in my piman jay period nga ng bayad ti account na kasi talaga in-insist piman ti public school pati enrollment noon ay parang ano yun clearance ba ng finances that really has great help kin da kami di nga before enrollment ni kati haba clearance ag subli kayo jay nagapon yung eskwelaan tatno i-clear dan awanti ko nagdakkel nga di ay nga makatulong ma'am Rinalyn kasi iso nga di siguro ti crime itat nga private schools so that the public schools will really help us also.
Ma'am, when
yes.
ma'am through EJ Apsa, ma'am mabalin ba nga maikanyo da kami just in case ma'am inya, mabalin ba nga maikanyo da kami tikas lang statistics as to how many of your learners have yet to pay their financial obligations, ma'am, the previous school year? Siguro i-care off tayo kun
Sir Marlon. Sir Marlon, ni Sir Marlon nga mang didil. Nagbayad tayo ma'am.
One tap na dati basis tayo ngay nga agi open tayo EJ management iti current status ti especially ti private schools, ma'am, mabalin nga ta, ma'am. Tapno matulungan mi hopefully da kayo ma'am at least maibaga ti parents nga they go back and talk with the administrators of their respective originating schools kasjay.
Sir Marlon, thank you.
Sir Marlon, sige sir.
Ma'am Cecil, thank you for bringing that kasi talagang yun yung problema natin.
Ay, si Ma'am Cecil pala yun, hindi si Ma'am Grace. Oo nga, Ma'am Cecil. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, I used the account of my daughter. Sorry.
It's okay, ma'am. When ma'am ni Ma'am Cecil, gaya apay DJ, when ni Ma'am Cecil.
Dakil nga problema, may nga talaga di ay, ma'am.
Ma'am, sa LIS kasi natin, ma'am, ma-share ko lang kasi what I'm doing. Baka Ma'am Cecil, confirm lang tayo ng confirm. Meron po kasi yung tick down na unsettled account. So pag click po yun yung unsettled account, mararoute po sa receiving schools na talagang hindi pa natin pwedeng i-release yung kanilang Form 10. So what I am doing po, pag nakatanggap na ako ng notification coming from the public school, after the confirmation, if a-follow up ko po, nagbibigay ako ng parang note kasabay ng ibang mga lumipat that this student is with unsettled account. So sila na rin po mismo ang nagno-notify sa parent. Para hanggang mabaybayan sa LIS, unsettled account ko na lang po. Para at
yes po,
ng next year.
Thank you, Sir Marlon. Thank you, Ma'am Rinalyn, for hearing our sentiments.
When Ma'am Cecil, iman, isuti bagbagami matlang kadagi jay kakadwa tayo jay na school heads ngayon, ma'am, ti public ta. We really empathize with your sentiments po that there is really a need for us to help the private schools naman na lalo ngayon. Opo, yes, ma'am. So, no adati kabalinan na, ma'am, Sir Marlon and the rest of the officers po, if there is a way that we get at least a data, ilan talaga sa ating mga estudyante so far, ang alam niyo po na lumipat no sa public schools, pero may mga unsettled accounts. Para we get to at least kung ano yung pwede nating magawa, makatulong po.
I think Ma'am Annie is not around. Nakita ko po si Ma'am
Mamani? Although syempre ang payment po kasi ay school originating, kayo po yun originating and the parent, so yun po yung agreement, but hopefully we can see kung how can we come in and help po through the management. Ni Ma'am Annie or Sir Romy?
Yes. Ma'am, follow-up question po regarding dun sa pag-confirm kasi may nakalagay dun na documents release, pero wala kaming na-release na any document. So, alangang i-confirm lang namin, tapos maglagay kami ng date na nag-release kami ng any documents, wala naman talaga. So, how can we confirm and at the same time, check yung portion na with unsettled account? Kaya po hindi na-release kasi hindi po pumunta yung parent, bigla na lang nawala, tapos naka-receive na lang kami ng notice from other school, from other region. Tapos, ano ilalagay namin, ma'am? Walang documents na na-release. Yun lang po, ma'am.
Sige, Sir Romy. Sir Romy, noted po yan. Sir Marlon, ulit nga, sir, kung ano yung inyong procedures kapag nagko-confirm kayo ng with unsettled accounts?
Ma'am, after confirmation, kasi before the confirmation, meron siyang box doon na i-click.
Yes.
Kung may unsettled account sila, then, wait lang, check. Then proceed naman po. Ang nilalagay ko, ma'am, sa remarks, Pastor Romeo, ang nilalagay ko sa remarks, yung date. I think hindi na hahanapin yung date pag unsettled accounts, sir. Ang hahanapin lang na date is yung confirmation.
Ganun. I see. I-check ko nga uli, sir. Kasi may nakalagay na date, documents na
i-transmit.
Na kailan ni-release something. I'll check, sir.
Sir.
Thank
Ang
you po.
nilalagay ko kasi, sir, is yung date na nag-confirm ako. Then sa remarks po, nakalagay doon yung mga reason, yung mga unsettled account. Documents cannot be issued because of the unsettled account.
Okay. Sige, sir. Gusto niyo pong mag-sample tayo ng account? Sino pong sa tingin niyo ang may mayroon po tayong learner na with unsettled account. I-sample natin. Pero data privacy, hindi pwede.
Makikita, ma'am.
Makikita po yung pangalan. Hindi pwede pala. Sorry. So, Sir Romy, paki-check na lang po yung process, no? Yung katulad ng sinabi ni Sir Marlon. If there's a way para ma-note mo doon yung reason na with unsettled accounts. Pero definitely maititik po kayo. Kung maalala niyo po, ang history kasi niyan, noong unang panahon, kailan nga mga year yon? I think that was 3 years or 4 years ago, ang ating LIS ay walang ititik na yun ay may financial obligation. Tama po? We were actually required to confirm regardless whether or not meron siyang financial obligation. Tama po? And we were required na kailangan ay mai-submit or mai-proceed, mai-submit o mai-transfer ang documents ng bata to the receiving school. But based on feedback, nasabi po natin yun, including the other regions and division offices na iparating sa central office na meron talagang financial obligation ang mga estudyante na iba. So, nagbigay sila ng facility for us, for the private schools or any originating schools na may pending financial obligation. Kaya po nagpatik sila doon. But as to policy po kasi talaga, if we may reiterate, as to policy, there is no clear-cut policy telling that we will hold the SF10. Tama po? Kung mag-agree po kayo. SF10 po, SF10. SF9 and 10 actually. Opo, there is no policy is stating that we can actually ang tawag nito, hold the SF10. Pero since nasabi po naman yan sa central office at kung maalala niyo sa mga previous meetings po natin, yung SF9 po ang ibibigay sa bata at SF10 ang magiging way natin para sa ganon ay masabi sa mga magulang na meron silang financial obligation. Tama po? Kung tama yung pagkakaalala ko sa circumstances natin, sa history ng ating with financial obligation. Tama po ba, Sir Marlon? And then such time that we hold the SF10 until such time na magkaroon ng agreement. May case tayo na, I think, may case tayo na graduating na yung bata and may financial obligation. So what the school did with the parent, nagkaroon sila ng agreement so that ma-clear siya for graduation yung bata. So it's really about the school, the originating school with financial obligation, yung tsaka yung parent, tsaka yung parent na yon. It's the agreement. Plus, the receiving school. So, tutulungan tayo ng receiving school na makipag-coordinate din sa mga magulang. So ganun, no? Tulungan ang ating ginagawa ngayon sa division offices, sa division office natin. So, again, katulad ng sabi ni Ma'am Cecil, if there's a way for us to help, I do not know yet kung ano ang specific natin na action doon, but rest assured that we will be cascading our concern po, the concern of the private schools po to the management po. Thank you.
Yaman unay, Ma'am Rianin. Salamat.
Yes, Ma'am Cecil. Apo.
Ma'am Malin?
Yes po, sir.
Ma'am, i-add ko na rin po, follow-up siguro since nasa confirmation na rin po tayo.
Apo.
Yung mga nag-close po na schema, automatic pong na-confirm sa amin. I don't know kung sa division office po nanggaling yung confirmation.
Yeah.
Yung Form 130 o yung Form 10 po nila, saan po namin pwedeng i-follow up? Nasa division office po ba or sa schools pa rin po?
Okay, may mga schools lang po na nandito na. Dito po actually ang as per policy, pag nag-close pong school, supposedly, ay tini-turn over po ng school na nag-close ang mga documents, yung mga SF10 ng mga bata. Yun po ang ating process. So kung anong school po yan, Sir Marlon, baka nandito na sa atin through the SMME, nasa record section po actually yan. At yung ating pag-confirm po naman ay through LIS, ay kami po yun. Kami po ang nagre-reopen ng kanilang account and then kami po ang nagko-confirm dahil yun po yung guideline natin. Apo. Pero as to SF10, sir, nandito, hopefully nandito na turnover ng school. Ngayon, kung hindi na turnover ng school at nasa school pa, we have to notify the administrators of the school, of the closed school po.
Okay po, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, Sir Marlon. Sir Marlon, paki-notify lang po kami kung ano yung mga school po na yan.
Yes, ma'am. Sige po. Ma'am,
alright.
Na lang po.
Yes po, yes. Thank you, Sir Marlon. Apo. Okay? Sige po. It's nice to be with you all po. Na-miss namin kayo. Parang ang tagal nang hindi tayo nag-usap-usap po. Nagbayagan. Sa mga senior high schools naman po, mga stand-alone senior high schools like UC, STI, meron ho ba dito? STI, ano pa ba yun? Data center. Ayan, yung mga raise hand. Si Ma'am RJ. Ma'am RJ, go ahead po. Ma'am RJ po ba or Sir RJ? Sige, go ahead po. Sir RJ po ba yung nag-raise hand kanina? Hindi ko po kayo lahat makita sa akin. Ayan, si Ma'am RJ. Ma'am RJ, go ahead po. Ma'am, nakamute ka po ata. Ma'am, wala kang audio po? Parang okay na. Alright, ma'am. Sige, ma'am. Rinig ka na po. Go ahead. Ma'am RJ, naawan ka ngay? Naka-on J mic mo, ma'am. Awan ngay, timangag mi, ma'am? Hello, Ma'am RJ. Medyo choppy ka, ma'am.
Yan po, ma'am. Okay na po ba?
One. Okay yan, Ading. Okay. Sige, go ahead po.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, with regards nga JQuas system mi kasi, last 2019, school year 2019 po, nagpa-request kami nga i-change ti admin, ti LIS mi. Kanjay information ti principal. Ngam idikit kitak manan dito ngay adang tingay ti nakakarga kat jay previous ladta. Jay BEIS mi.
When ma'am actually datayo amin pati division level han ngay nga ma-update ngay uri ag-change tayo kat jay jag appear latta jay previous. So anyway na take note naman po take note po natin yan. Including sa public schools ganyan mat lang ma'am. So
kasi diyan ngay in print ipiprint ni nga SF5 dayon. Ngikot kwa. Isuna ngay tag generate. Tapos hanap maka-edit
gamin nga mabalin. Masapol system data from central office po kasi mag-update, ma'am. Pakianos pa yung basit nga sa bali basta importante kat actual kat ma-take note yo, ma'am. SF5 mat kit di kat nalpas tayo na generate. That was the previous school year, ma'am. SF5, SF6 yo.
Okay lang ba Shakti ko ma-access ko lang tadagi pa nag-edit ko ti BEIS kun dadu mga parts ti LIS.
One, mabalin lat tamat, ma'am. You can still access, ma'am. Provided that you are using the account, ma'am, the proper account, ganyan po.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ma'am RJ. Sige po. Sa ating mga, again, balikan po natin yung ating mga stand-alone na senior high schools po. Do you have any questions po? Kung wala na, then are we good na po? So balikan ko lang po, ulitin ko lang po before tayo mag-end yung ating timelines. Paki-take note lang po. Sige. Ayan. So, ulitin po natin. Ito po yung timelines natin. Kindly take note. So, we will expect po your PSP on or before po itong week na ito, 26 to 30. But please do not wait na po sa April 30, ano? Sa April 30 para mag-upload. Mas maganda, mas maaga po. Siguro 26 better para may time po kami to immediately validate at least. Kung baka kailangan naming pumunta dyan sa inyo, at least may time po kami to do that. Alright? Anyway, you have almost a month to complete po your PSP. And then, yung ating folder, paki-take note po yung link natin, tinyurl.com, PSP 2020-2021 for private schools po. Yung first three po, pang public po iyan. Okay? And these are for the references and presentations you can access and download if you want to review po yung mga actual video presentations po or orientation from the central office. Okay, here are some of the frequently asked questions po natin. Although ito ay more of the public schools naman kasi. Ito lang, last part lang, yung number 10, tingnan natin yung number 10. Can the number of grantees be higher than the number of ESC slots? No, the number of ESC grantees cannot be higher than the number of slots for the reason that even if there are transfers, slots are counted by the receiving school. So yan ang may kinalaman sa ating, yung mga iba, yung wash facilities, kung applicable sa inyo. Then we report both functional and not functional. Okay? Sige. So, yan ang ating orientation for our BEIS, Basic Education Information System. Unless may mga katanungan po pag wala na, then we call it a day. And we thank everyone for being with us. So far, we are 77 in the room. It's still a good number for everyone. We are very thankful for your presence. And wala na po, wala na talaga. So again, our email address is planresearch. Meron. Meron ba? Yes, sir. Sino?
Ma'am Rona Corazon Ibuko.
Ma'am Rona Corazon. Okay. Sige. Meron pala dito. Sige, thank you, Ading. Good PM po, ma'am. How to reset? Okay. Ma'am Vanessa, nasagot ba kita kanina nung na-demo ko how to reset?
Ma'am, ma'am, hindi ko po kasi nakita, ma'am. Bigla akong umalis po sa harap ng screen po.
Okay. Sige. I-demo po na.
Watch it dun sa live streaming po.
Okay lang, i-demo ko ngayon. Gusto nyo po?
Sige
Okay
po.
lang. Very quick lang naman. Very quick.
Ma'am, thank you po.
Sige. Okay lang po sa mga participants. Can I demo po? So you go po the tab sa browser.
Opo.
Naka-open na ako, manang. Sa browser ko. You go to LIS at deped.gov.ph. Nakikita?
Yes,
Nakikita, Ma'am Vanessa? Okay.
Yes po, ma'am.
Ay, Sir Marlon, sorry. Isa-sign out na kita. Tapos ire-reset kita, Sir Marlon, ha?
Sige, ma'am po. Thank you, ma'am po.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so, you log in. Ang gamit nyo po ay pwedeng si school head or si system account, Ma'am Vanessa.
Yes po.
Then, you go to the drop down, upper left, upper right, Gayam. And then, you go to administration.
Okay.
And then, you search. Sa amin, sa dashboard kasi sa lahat, no, public, private, ALS, lahat na sa amin. So, sa inyo, yung school nyo lang. So,
Okay po.
48, ano gamin ng J? 481545, Sir Marlon. Ayan. Okay. So, you go to that. Then, hanapin nyo yung personnel na gusto nyong i-reset. Then, click nyo lang yon. Then, that's the reset password. So, this is now the default password and username.
Ay, okay, ma'am. Thank you po.
Okay? Sige. So, ganun lang siya. Alright? Sir Marlon, naka-default ka ulitan.
Okay, ma'am. Sige po. Thank you, ma'am.
Much. Okay. Sige. Okay na? Sige. One more question. The same sentiment, si Ma'am Jenny, the same sentiment si Ma'am Jenny. Sige po. And then, Senior High School, University of Baguio. Ma'am, ask ko din po kung paano ang pag nagkamali sa pag-indicate ng grade level sa LIS for irregular student. Change of grade level. Wala pa po ata tayong facility, ma'am, for that. But you stand by for the facility, ma'am. But we will check, ma'am. Try natin. Tingnan kung meron na siyang facility for change ng grade level natin. Sige, ma'am. Please coordinate with us, ma'am, no? Yung in charge po ng senior high school ng UB. Okay po. If I may inform po, kung nabasa niyo po yung previous natin na division memo on the change request, pending change request, napakadami po nun. Kung makita niyo po yung mga schools ninyo, paki-coordinate po sa amin agad. Immediately po yun. Okay? I don't need to inform here po para ano. Anyway, nasa memo po yan. For reminders lang po. Okay? Baguio Higher Ground, paano yung mga mail sa post office na hindi natatanggap ng school? Almost 1 year na mail pero di pa daw na-receive ng school. Na mail na na mail nyo po. Kayo po, ma'am, ang nag-mail. Tama po ba? Kayo po ang originating school. At nag-send po kayo ng SF10 sa receiving. Ganun po ba yon? Ganun po kaya ang case? Kung ganun po ang case, ma'am, kung meron kayong contact number po doon sa school, kindly call po para ma-pick up na nila yung permanent records. Medyo delikado po yun kasi mga original ang mga iyon. And then, kung meron po kayo yung, ang tawag nito, yung slip, at meron po kayong email, paki-contact nyo po or paki-email immediately po ang receiving school po. Okay po? Kung kayo naman ang originating, ang receiving school, ma'am, kayo ang receiving school, contact nyo rin, ma'am, ang originating school. Okay? Mas medyo delikado kasi permanent ang mga yon. Remnant Senior High School, good PM po. Same sentiments po with Ma'am RJ. Si Ma'am RJ kanina yung hindi nag-update yung pangalan. Tama po, si Ma'am RJ, no? Sige, noted po yan, ma'am. Yung old school po ang nag-a-appear. Sige. Noted po ito. Si Sir Valente. Hello po. Si Sir Val ba ito? Si Sir Romeo pala. Or Victory. Thank you. Welcome po. Good afternoon po. Kindly paki-reiterate po na system request na po ang ating mga transcript of records. Okay. What do you mean po, Ma'am Rona? System request meaning may mga schools po ba nagbibigay pa ng papel? Yung mga papel, tama po ba, Ma'am Rona?
Yes po.
Okay. Ayan si Ma'am Rona. Hi, Ma'am Rona. Opo. Ay, ma'am. Ma'am, pakisabihan mo yung mga schools na yan, ma'am, na nagbago na tayo ng panahon. Hindi na yung manual na mayroong magbibigay sila ng request form. Ngayon ay LIS to LIS. Pakisabi na po. Pakisabi po. Yes, ma'am? Ma'am Evangeline, go ahead, ma'am. Nakataas po yung kamay.
Wala, in relation to that, hindi ba automatic na rin dapat ng school na mag-release ng permanent record without the request? Kasi nasa LIS na eh. So, automatic na sana yun na ipapadala nila? Di ba ganun yun?
Yes, ma'am. That's the process po, ma'am. Once po, ma'am, na basta wala pong pending financial obligation na katulad ng topic natin kanina. Pero kung galing po yan ng public school ay wala ho dapat dahilan naman na hindi pa sila magbigay. We will relay po. Public school po ba, ma'am?
Merong public, merong private. Nakakalimutan yata.
Ayun, sige po. So we will remind ourselves, both public and private. Send na po tayo, lalo pa-end na po ng school year.
Yes, po eh.
Aha. Thank you, Ma'am Evangeline. Noted po yan, ma'am. Opo, ma'am. Thank you po. And then, please kindly fill up po yung attendance. Hindi pa po naka-register yung iba. Para baka po kasi hanapin sa amin ano yung mga schools na nag-attend for the orientation. In fact, pinapa-monitor po sa amin yung mga compliance po. No? So, be ensure po na nandyan po ang inyong mga schools po. Alright? Sige. Thank you, Ronald Ading and Sir Harris and the rest of the ICT sa baba.
Sige po, ma'am. Welcome po.
Okay, welcome. Okay. Sige, so kung wala na tayong mga katanungan, meron pa ba akong hindi nabasa? Ronald, din? Meron pa. Ma'am, ask ko lang po yung mga galing sa Philippine school. Sa ibang bansa, hindi pa po kasi nila kino-confirm yung transfer nila at yung ibang school din po di pa nag-confirm ng transfer students. Actually, yan ang dami nating nakapending talaga sa transfer. Pwede po pa-assist, thank you sa LIS. Yeah, we can assist you by calling the originating school po. If you could inform us kung ano na so far yung actions taken niyo po para matulungan po namin kayong matawagan lalo kung overseas po itong mga to. We can call on behalf of your school po. Please coordinate po sa amin, Ma'am Angeline. Sige. And then Ma'am RJ, ulit, Ma'am, most schools pa din na nagre-request ng hard copy. Tsaka good moral, naku, sige, meron pa palang good moral na nire-request. Yung SF10, noted po yan. Sige, if we could have data, Sir Marlon, kung possible kaya yun, so that we have really basis to inform the management na as to data, ito yung nare-receive natin na mga hard copy ng request form, mga ganyan.
Sige po, ma'am. We will send a survey po siguro sa mga private schools.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much po. Para tingnan natin kung paano nang gagawin natin, sir, no? Okay, sige. Thank you. Thank you so much po. And then, ayan. So, thank you. Okay, sige. So far, it has been a very fruitful engagement with you all po. Thank you so much. We miss one another, lalo pag wala pang face-to-face. No? Ang tagal na nating hindi nagkikita, parang 2 taon na. 2 taon na ba, Sir Marlon? Oo, umahigit pa. Oo, nawala ako ng 2019. Sige. Anyway, sige. So, kung wala na pong mga katanungan, by the way po, for now, 3 lang po muna kami dito sa office, but we have the ICT or hopefully may makakasama kami dito sa office to assist you all. In case na hindi namin agad masagot, pasensya na po kayo. But please rest assured that we will attend with your concerns the best possible that we can. All right? So thank you so much.
Thank you, Ma'am Malin. Stay safe
you.
po. God bless po.
Before we end, pray tayo pa siguro.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much. Our
Thank you,
pleasure
ma'am.
to serve always.
Thank you.
Okay po. Asa na si Sir Val? Sir Val, syempre, alam mo na, Sir Val, mabalin nga ag-pray tayo pa before we end, Garod. Wow, hello, sister! si Sister Cecilio. Sige, Sir Val, can we have a closing prayer po muna before we end po, please?
Pastor Romeo?
Ay, si Sir Pastor Romeo.
Ay,
Si Sir.
Shagayam.
Apo.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Sige po, ma'am. Okay, let's pray. Our gracious and loving Father, thank you for this afternoon, for this very informative orientation when it comes to our learner information system and the BEIS. Lord, thank you for the participating schools. Thank you for their effort and their input, where we can also share our sentiments, our problems, and even our blessings. Thank you for Ma'am Malin and the rest of the staff in the planning department. Lord, thank you for their help and for their consistency in helping us in every time, Lord. Maraming salamat sa iyong patuloy na pag-iingat sa amin. Patuloy mo kaming gabayan at bigyan ng magandang kalusugan at kalakasan ng katawan. Sa iyong papuri at pasasalamat sa tanging pangalan ng aming Panginoong Jesucristo. Amen.
Amen, amen. Thank
Amen.
you, Sir
Thank you, ma'am.
Romy. Salamat po sa lahat. Thank you so much. God bless po. God bless everyone.
Bye-bye.
God bless po. Bye-bye po. Thank you sa ICT po. Maraming salamat. Thank you po.
Thank you rin po.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. And also to our ASDS po, kung nandito po siya sa atin pa. Thank you so much po. Alright. Thank you po. Si Sister Cecilio. I miss you po. Sister, pinag-uusapan ka namin kanina. Sige. Thank you. Thank you so much, UB, Sir Romel, Teacher Brittany, Ma'am Christine, thank you. Ma'am Marichu. From Carmelian, Montessori, Teacher Donna, hello po. Or the representative, si Ma'am Maya Sint. Yan. Salamat po sa inyong lahat. Thank you. From Easter College. Thank you so much. Welcome po. Welcome. Bye-bye po. Bye-bye po.